Okay, so for my second presentation, I'm going to go over the product rule and the chain rule really quickly. I've actually decided to use a tool that was not on the list. I'm actually using realtimeboard.com. I think it's easier for math teachers to explain things if they're writing it out, and that is what Realtime Board lets us do. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go over our product rule today. Over here we have a lot of tools. This is our text tool, our sticky note tool, so we can click on that and we can add a sticky note if we want to, just to add notes. We can add shapes, arrows. We can use the pen, which is actually what I'm going to use the entire time, mostly. Well, the pen and the cursor for this. We can actually make comments, and we can add frames. And there's a lot more stuff to that. So for right now, we're actually going to go and get our pen. And right here, we can choose the thickness of our pen. I really like that. And our color, I usually go for black, but we can use different colors just to show the differences in, like, when we're doing different steps within our um, presentation. So right now, I'm going to use the cursor just to line this up just a little bit. Okay, in order to do the product rule, you have to first say that you are going to derive both sides. So just simply write out that you are deriving both sides of the equation. And then we are actually going to derive it. Okay, so f of x becomes f prime of x. And then this is where we're going to use different colors. So we're going to change the color of the one that we derive. So the product rule is the first variable times the second variable's derivative plus the second derivative times the first variable's derivative. So right now we are not changing the first variable, so we can leave that here, but we are changing the second variable. Since we are changing second variable, we're going to change our colors. I'm going to go H prime. I'm going to change it back to black plus H, and now we are changing G. We're going to change that color, so G prime. And that is your product rule. It simply shows the ones that have changed. Now we are going to quickly go over the chain rule. Just going to go down real quick. I would usually have a stylus. Right now I'm using my finger, so it is a little tricky trying to get it done. So for the chain rule, we're going to have a different equation. So we're going to f of x equals 3g squared plus 3g, all of that squared. And to find the derivative of this, once again, we're going to specify that we are taking the derivative of both sides. So d of dx times f of x d dx 3g squared plus 3g, all of that squared. Scroll down some. So like I said earlier, f of x turns into f prime of x. And then to do this part, so the chain rule is basically the derivative of the outside times the what's on the inside, and then times the derivative of the inside. So what that looks like is we're actually, for the first part of the derivative, going to move the 2 to the front of the equation. So this becomes 2. And then let's actually undo that and put that in red since we are changing that. So 2. And then times what is in the parentheses, so 3g squared plus 3g. And with derivatives, when you take one from the exponent area, it goes down 1. So that was 2, now it has become 1. Gonna move this over just a little bit. Okay, and so now we're gonna take the derivative of the inside. So this is a simple sum rule for the inside, but specifically with the first term in this, we are going to change that. We're going to use the power rule to solve this. So this comes here, and when you do that, you have to multiply them. So this becomes 6g plus the derivative of 3g, which is just going to be 3. And then that is your answer, but you can simplify it if you do so, please. So to simplify it, f prime of x becomes 12. Well, let's just not simplify it. But that is how you use this. It's very easy to use.